Hello everyone, Oguri Kamshina here. So we have infos on the next champions meeting, so we are going to be look into it today and talking about the meta units. Let's get started. The cost is gonna be on Hanshin 2200 meter on turf. Weather is gonna be cloudy. Track condition is gonna be heavy. With this means that every Umas in the race gonna get a minus of 50 powers. So power is gonna be the status that you need to be getting a little bit higher than usual. So yeah, cost is gonna be right turns and hail in summer. Here's a list of the green skill of the cost and which card give the skills, so you can reference it. Okay, so next up, let's move on to the cost introduction first, so we know how the cost works. Okay guys, so let's take a look at the cost in general, alright? So the 2200 meter is gonna be starting here. This is the page where you're gonna be start, alright? And the first leg is gonna be lasting for 370 meter, is around this part. It's gonna be the end of it. This part's gonna be the end of the first leg, alright? And the middle leg is gonna be really long, as I told you here. The middle leg is gonna be starting right there, and it's gonna last until nearly the last corner, probably around this part. Yeah, this is 1470 meter for the middle leg. And after that, it's gonna be the last leg, which I'm gonna mark with a red here. Again, you're gonna be running through here, back to the goal here. And yeah, that's about it for the causes. Okay, so what's the highlight of this causes in general that we need to take a note from? So first off, I'm gonna tell you about the last bird, where last bird start, right? So the last bird start here, this means that it's a corner start, alright? So sales guy, Michiro Dober, Ryan works really well here. So yeah, that's probably the win condition, and runners at it again because sales guys OP as hell, you know. So yeah, that's why sales guy is gonna be very OP in these courses because of the corner that happens here. Okay, but another highlight that you need to note is the 777 is gonna be taking place again. The 777 is gonna be right here. This is the 777 meter marks. Yep, 37 is gonna work here as well. This means that Chrimas Oguri is gonna dominate the games again. And yeah, Chrimas Oguri basically got some good thing, get some recovery skill out, and then proc 37s, and then go fast until the end of the race and win. Yeah, this is the Chrimas Oguri is very strong in this one alongside the runners. So I don't think between her and Chess is gonna do much here. Yeah, that's about it for this that I need to know about the causes. Next up is the downhill and uphill, alright? The downhill is really long. Like the downhill start probably here. The downhill probably start here. Okay, it start along the spurt, like probably along the spurt, and it's really long. It's like until here. This is like the downhill. All these parts are downhill. All the green parts are downhill. Alright. So yeah, the long downhill. What does it mean? The long downhill means that in is gonna be pretty much very good in this one. Like if you have max in, there is a thing called that downhill mode that let you speed up and consume less stamina if you procs it. Is it a chance based procs, depends on scale on your int, right? And if you proc it, you're gonna get a lot of speed up and you're gonna be conserving your stamina. So yeah, this is a very good spot to procs. So int is a very important status in this one as well, alright? So after the downhill end, there's a little uphill before the end of the race. So if you don't have enough power, you might end up losing here, because just a little uphill requires you to have some extra powers. So if someone has some extra power, they're gonna be moving in much more speed than you if you're at uphill, alright? So yeah, this might make a game. So if you're like someone closing behind you and you're lacking power and you're at this uphill, you might have a chance to get overtaken at the very last moment. So that would be very frustrating. So powers and in are very important. This is why I said earlier that Gus is not gonna be the main pass here, but you can play Gus if you're confident in your deck. But I don't think Gus is gonna be for us, right? If you don't have a good deck, you might as well just max out speed, power, and int, and hope for the best. And yeah, what do we note next? What do we know that is the state right here? And position keep is gonna be ending here. This is where the position keep end. I'm gonna mark with a P, right? This position keep ending, and it ending at the second stage that you pass, right? So if you proc the skills, proc a lot of speed skill on the second stage around this part, it's gonna be really good. Someone like Gold Ship can do this easily. Someone like Thermocross can do this as well. So Thermocross and Gold Ship are gonna be a good chases and just hope that they can overtake until the leader spot or maybe runner spot if they can do it good enough. All right, proxing the skill on the state right here is very good, including the corner skill that you might prox out here, or corner skill you might prox out here. And the first star, the first star skill is gonna be proxing around this part as well. So first star is gonna be good unless you are Chrimas Oguri, which you need to be very specific with the recoveries. You can take first star on X Oguri in this one. It's a little bit too random, but yeah, that's about it for the course introduction. I'll see you in the next section. Okay, after we talk about the course, first we're gonna be talking about runners. Runners is in a pretty good spot for these courses because again, same sky all works, right? So yeah, Chocobon, Summer Marsensky, and Falcon works really well here. It's gonna be top tier contender for this champions meeting. So and F5 option, if you don't have the option above that I mentioned, it's gonna be Daiwa Scarlet. She's gonna be pretty good choice for anyone who doesn't have Chocobon and Summer Marsensky and still want a chance to win. So yeah. Go for that. So go for that one if you don't have a good option. For inheritance skill, yeah, Seven Sky. You probably need Seven Sky to win. It's a must that you have to take it. And you can add a late frame gear in there, but it's not very effective. So if you're not a hardcore gamer, you probably don't want to get a late frame gear in there as well, because Marcensky compatibility is quite bad. So you don't really want to use her for parents, but yeah, it an extra works. You can also inherit Chrimas Oguri all and use Sven to activate it, but it might be too much works for someone who's not really into hardcore grinding since like 3 sevens is quite a rare skill if you don't already have them in your awakenings. Like unless you're like Summer Marcensky, you're not gonna have like 3-7 in your awakening skills, right? And you don't get it from the mega new track scenarios either. So it's gonna be very hard to get that skill in your Umas, in your runner's Umas. Again, status is a little bit flexible since gas aren't as dominant as the last CMs, and power and in got buffed because of the track condition, kinda reduce your power, and the downhill requires you to have like a great in. So if you aren't confident in your gas deck, go for the speed in. It's gonna be a better idea, of course. For the skills, for runners, fortune favorable fast is required if you can, unless you are Valentine Bourbon, because you can get fortune favorable fast for Valentine Bourbon, right? So the white version and ground works as well. And just about any speed skill you can get to compete against other runners. Next up is gonna be leaders. So outside of X Oguri, who's literally a god in these courses, there aren't any good choices on leaders out there. So I will only be talking about Chrimas Oguri for this one probably. For inheritance skill, you probably want to have Red Tail or the original Morzensky, and yeah, that's about it. But yeah, preferably Red Tail is gonna be your choices here. Status is kind of the same as runners, but in case of Chrimas Oguri, you can drop your stamina because you will need to get those recoveries, and yeah, recoveries are good for stamina, so you don't have to have like 700 stamina or something. You can drop a little lower because, well, Chrimas Oguri is cheating, to be honest. For the skill on Chrimas Oguri, you need like 3 sevens and 2 to 3 other recovery, depends on what you prioritize. Right? If you prioritize high rolling, you probably want 3 recovery builds, but for consistency build, you probably want the total of 4 recovery builds. And yeah, and the recovery is going to be something like Big Eaters, Race Panel, or Stamina Keep, or even like Umamusume from Takian, which is not as strong as the last time, but it's kinda alright. And yeah, don't forget to get non-stop build. That's a requirement. You need to get it. Next up is Betweeners. Betweeners is, I personally think Betweener is the weakest position in this champions meeting, because the font is gonna be pretty packed because how OP runners and Chrimas Oguri are, right? To the point that you can run all Betweener in the chaser spot instead. Top contender is in this spot. It's gonna be probably normal Oguri, right? It's always been, right? Normal Oguri is the original Oguri is everywhere. She can go to every champions meeting and win you the game if you build her good enough, right? She's still one of the best options if you don't have any runners or Chrimas Oguri to use. So that's kind of the same as the others. Skill build is again casino builds, as always. Get Ryan, get Dauber, and hope for the best. Normal Oguri works really well with non-stop girl added in the mix, and you might be able to score some win with her. Special mention to monopolizers, owners like Cheerleader Nature, Valentine Asian, Rudolph, and Grass, and Takian, because it's a pretty good debuff if you are into praying debuffers. If you don't have any other choice except praying debuffer, go for them. They got this debuff is quite good for medium. Now it's chasers. This version is very similar to Betweener in these courses. Another F2P option will be go to Gold Ship, because her all procs really good in the straight that I mentioned earlier in the course introduction. Again, sadly, storage shot doesn't work, so your best bet is gonna be Ryan and Dober plus non-stop girl to procs, and she's probably gonna be win the game if you procs all of that. Tamo is quite a good choice as well if you like her. I want to mention the Inari one here because she is a good glamour character. Like if you high roll her, you're probably gonna win the game because Inari one is really good at high rolling. But yeah, if you're going to do Inari one, you need her to be on a Gus build. So if you're not confident in Gus build, I don't recommend using Inari one at all. Okay, you need the Gus build on her to get the most out of her. And to wrap up this video, I think the meta is gonna be Chrimas Oguri and Runner dominating the courses as always. I'm planning to run Chrimas Oguri, Falcon, and Chocobon as my pick for the Champions meeting. I will post the build in my community post as always if I already done the build, of course. And yeah, that's all you need to know about this next Champions meeting. If you like this video, please click that like button, subscribe if you haven't done it yet. Feel free to comment about your plan for the next Champions meeting down below in the comments. I love to read it. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.